Boxing truth here. I wanted to talk about rising contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller. I like Big Baby. What's not to like about him? Talks shit. He's funny as hell. He's a guy that brings personality into the division, brings some excitement to the division. And if he works on some things in terms of his arsenal, his conditioning, in terms of his weight, if he continues to work on his craft, become a little more faster, more fluid with his movement, I really feel Big Baby can be a legitimate threat in the heavyweight division. He's got a mixed martial arts background, so he's done it on both sides of combat fighting. He's a unique guy, he's done both. And he's very athletic for his size. Really big, very strong. He's like a tank, comes forward. And the opponents that he's fought, they haven't been able to put a dent on him because he's so goddamn big. But he hasn't really fought a murderer's row of opponents. He hasn't really fought a puncher yet. Not that I can recall. But he's a dangerous guy. And especially if he continues to improve and starts knocking on the door on a world title opportunity. He's not a guy that the champions are going to cherry pick. He's a guy that's in a position that many before him have been in. He's dangerous. He doesn't bring much to the table. He's not a big payday. No one's going to get rich fighting him. So it's very disappointing of Big Baby's recent statements of willing to travel for big fights. And that type of attitude is a real turnoff. Especially for me, as a boxing fan, I don't like the attitude he's displaying about traveling for big fights. And it comes across as very soft, very insecure, that he doesn't have the confidence in his ability to go over there and be a conqueror, be an Alexander. He's got to stop talking that nonsense, saying why should he travel for Anthony Joshua, or why should he travel for Dylan White. I don't know, maybe because they pretty much generate the biggest payday that you ever receive. That's one reason. Why would they come over to the U.S. when they can make more money fighting it across the pond? Jarrell is just not in that position to make these type of demands. He can't secure these opponents on his homeland because he doesn't bring jack shit to the table. You're not a star, bro. You're not the A side. You're fighting on undercards. You're not even fighting on televised slots. You're fighting on Facebook Live or on Showtime's YouTube page. That's how your last fight was televised. You was on an off-TV undercard bout that was only viewable by social media. So you're not in this position to make these demands. You need to do what you got to do. If you're going to get this opportunity to fight a Dylan White or fight an Anthony Joshua, you got to do what Errol Spence Jr. did. You got to do what Timothy Bradley did. Shit, you got to do what even Terrence Crawford did in order to get into position that they are in now. Or Bradley was. Getting bigger fights in the future. Spence is going to get bigger fights in the future. Terrence Crawford is on the verge of becoming undisputed. You got to do what you got to do in order to get yourself in a better position. So I don't understand this attitude with Big Baby. Not willing to travel for big fights. It makes you look soft, bro. You need to stop talking that bullshit. You mean to tell me if you offered an opportunity to fight Joshua or Dylan White for a significant payday, you're actually going to turn it down? It's not a good look, man. It's going to make you look soft. It's going to make you look like a diva. And people are going to jump off that Jarrell Miller train. I like Big Baby. What's not to like about him? He talks shit, funny as hell. And he's worth watching. He goes in there and tries to fuck you up. I don't know how high his ceiling will be, but if he works on some things, he could really be a legitimate threat. And right now, he's rated number 6 in the IBF, so he's in position to eventually perhaps challenge Joshua down the line. That's the only way he's going to get a title shot. If he continues to climb up the rankings and put himself in position to become a mandatory. But this attitude of not willing to travel, that's not a good look. If Dylan White's willing to fight you, even though he doesn't have to fight you, you need to take that opportunity. Grab it with both hands and try to go over there and be a conqueror. You're not in position to make these demands. You're fighting on undercards. You don't bring jack shit to the table. These English guys they have the platform. They got Eddie Hearn backing them. They have the audience backing them. That's where the market is right now, man. You're not in position to make these demands. So Jarrell, stop talking that nonsense. Change your attitude about willing to travel. And maybe you can put yourself in a better position. But we'll see where your career goes. I'm not sure who's representing you now. I don't know if you're with Heyman now, if you're with Greg Cohen still. But at least you got your promotional situation worked out. You was able to end that inactivity. I'm looking forward to your career, whoever you fight next. Hopefully you can get into an eliminator soon for the IBF. Put you in line for a mandatory against Joshua, because Joshua is going to be here for a while. I don't really see a heavyweight out there right now in the near future that can beat him. So Joshua ain't going nowhere. It's going to be up to you, Jarrell, to take these opportunities, whether it's in the States or across the pond. But if given the opportunity to fight Dylan White, you better take it, bro. A lot of fans are going to turn their back on you. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.